it's Nicole. Welcome back to the channel. First, I want to say thank you all so much for the love on the flashback, throwbacky swatch and reviews that I've been doing. I greatly appreciate that because I really didn't know how that would resonate with people. So I'm going to be continuing on doing just that. So for today's video, I will be swatching out the Sinful Colors Sweet and Salty collection. This collection originally came out in the summer of 2020. I remember this collection very fondly for multiple reasons. This is a really fun release full of scented nail polishes. These are all scented as either sweet things or savory things. This was actually the very first nail polish collection that I ever purchased specifically to review over on my blog. If you've been around the channel for a minute, you might remember that I have/had a blog called NicoleLovesNails.com. It's actually still live. You can still go to it. I don't really post on there anymore just for a multitude of reasons, but my original swatches for that release is indeed still up. I'll link it in the description box in case anyone is curious. I'm gonna warn you now, my nails in 2020.
Brother,
Well, you could see for yourself. These are my nails in 2020. I'm not gonna make any excuses. I feel like the summer of 2020 was a time for everybody. So unfortunately, as a brand, Sinful Colors is a bit more difficult to track down nowadays. This is the first video that I've recorded since I did my collab with Cert Colors. So I do wanna say just thank you all so very much for all the love and support on my collaboration with Cert Colors. In case you somehow missed it, I have a new collaboration with Cert Colors out. There are 2 jelly polishes plus a gold topper. I'm still like so giddy and excited that this even exists. These are the collection boxes I'm currently flailing around here. This release is available right now on the Cert Colors website. It's also going to be available on beyondpolish.com. And I also have seen that it's also available on Cert's various international stockist pages. So if you're outside of the US or Canada, there are also stockist pages that have this. My understanding is I think all of the stockist pages that usually have Cert Colors polishes will indeed have this set, but just thank you all so much for all the love and support. I tried to reply to all of the posts and tags and everything for the past couple of days. I'm sure I've missed a couple of things. I am so sorry if I've missed you. It is both one of the most funnest things I've ever done and also one of the most overwhelming things. So I'm just really excited and thankful, and just thank you all so much for the love and support. That was a lot of yapping that had nothing to do with this video, so let's just get right into the swatches. I do not have official descriptions and things, so I'm actually using my blog post because I'm assuming I copied and pasted it back then. The first polish up is called Cheese Puff. This is a bright orange textured nail polish that smells like Cheetos, or cheese puffs, basically. Cheese Puff had a fantastic formula, not too thick or too thin. I generally do find Sinful Colors polishes to be like a little bit on the thinner side in general. For Cheese Puff in particular, I call this one a 2 to 3 coater depending on your application style. I've worn this one in 2 coats. I've worn it in 3. I believe for my swatches, I swatched this one out in 3 coats. This is a delightfully bright orange color. In my opinion, this is the kind of orange that I want to see a lot of, especially as we go into like Halloween season. This has a very strong cheesy odor to it. I personally would put it in the kind of like artificial cheese, so very much that cheese doodles and Cheetos kind of smell. It's very cheesy. I wouldn't go so far as to say that it is a pleasant smell. Like, it's not a scent that I personally enjoy.
Thanks, I hate it.
My swatches show Cheese Puff in 3 coats with no top coat because it's a textured nail polish. For textured nail polishes, you obviously are not going to want to scrub this kind of nail polish off. It's going to just be horrendous trying to scrub all the little gritty bits off of your nail. Definitely use the soak off method or a peel off base coat. I use the soak off method. If you love this polish but you don't want the funky fragrance, I would highly recommend China Glaze's Totally Textured. Would I say that they're like 100% spot on dupes? No, not necessarily, but they are close enough that I would say it's not justifiable to own them both. Don't ask me why I own them both. Personally, I really love textured nail polishes. I am forever hoping and praying that textured nail polishes make a comeback. As I'm recording this, Holo Taco is currently teasing their next collection that comes later out this week. I haven't gotten it in hand yet, but they're hinting at a polish with a sugar texture. I'm really hoping that it's textured. I don't think it is, truthfully. I am fully expecting to be disappointed by it not being textured, but like in my heart, I'm hoping that it's textured because I feel like Holo Taco could make textured polishes cool again. They're a big enough brand that they could be the one to do this for us, but unfortunately, y'all don't like fun polishes, so we're not gonna get it.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
The next polish up is called Chocolate Cake, and this is a dark chocolate brown textured nail polish that has like a chocolate cake fragrance. I feel like having a brown textured nail polish and saying that this one is chocolate cake was definitely a choice. Was it a good choice?
The answer is hell no.
I love textured nail polishes. I've never seen or looked at a chocolate cake and said, yes, texture me up. I suppose the idea behind this might be like the crumb of the cake, and that's where we're getting like the little textured bits. But I just feel like calling this one chocolate cake was definitely an odd choice. But again, I'm here for the textured. This is a super dark tone of brown. This is the kind of brown that could for sure be seen as like black in low lighting. It's a very dark brown color. This has the same amount of texture as the previous polish. It's a really nice gritty kind of feel on the nail. As far as the fragrance goes, however, I wouldn't personally say this smells like cake to me. I kind of see where they were going with like cake-like and chocolatey, but it has just something else added to it that I still to this day can't put my finger on what's causing it to be that way. When I originally swatched this one out, I referred to it as dirty chocolate. My swatches show chocolate cake in 2 coats with 0 top coat because it's a textured nail polish. I will say I don't love this nail polish, truthfully. I feel, for me personally, the tone of the brown is just like a little bit too dark, a little bit too close to being black for me to like really love this polish. I feel like when I want a textured polish that's this level of darkness, I usually just go for a black textured nail polish, but I don't have any real problems with this one personally, even though I don't think I've picked it up again since I originally swatched it out. And again, soak off method or peel off base coat, you're not gonna want to try to scrub off the little textured bits. Because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be able to talk about textured nail polishes are. By the way, if you really like textured nail polishes, because you don't top coat these, they have a tendency to chip pretty quickly, I find. Just a little pro tip, if you have a really thin quick dry top coat, or just like any kind of top coat, if you do one really thin layer on top of the textured, it's not going to be enough to completely smooth out the little textured bits, but I do find that adding that to a textured nail polish kind of helps with longevity a little bit. I just find that for textured nail polishes, one of 2 things happen when I'm wearing them. Either they chip off really quickly, or they get less textured with time, which kind of makes you wonder if you're eating the textured bits, if they're just falling off, or if they're just getting rubbed smooth. I still don't know, truthfully, to this day, which way it is. I'm pretty much assuming that my body is full of microplastics at this point, however.
But anywho,
the next polish up is called Cookies and Cream. Color-wise for the base on this polish, it's kind of hard to describe. I do feel that they did a really good job of getting that kind of grayish, brownish, taupe-ish kind of color that happens when you add the Oreo cookie crumbles into batter or like frosting or even ice cream. I will say, I do feel like it leans a slightly more taupey and less gray-y than normal like cookies and cream stuff, but it's in that same kind of color family. And then within that kind of grayish, taupe-ish kind of base color, you have a variety of different sizes of black hex glitters. There are some fairly larger ones in here, as well as like some really tiny ones. And this has a cookies and cream fragrance. Fragrance-wise, I would say that this is one of the better smelling polishes in the collection. This is one of the polishes in the release that I've actually worn for personal wear and actively enjoyed it. It's a really fun glitter crowley, basically. I will say on the first coat, the base is very sheer. Like I mentioned earlier, Sinful Colors polishes tend to be on the thinner side, I find. So for this one, on that first coat, you almost can't see the base color. It's that like sheer on the first coat. So I do recommend building this one up in 2 to 3 coats. I find for this one, whether or not I do 2 to 3 coats just depends on how many glitters I got out on my first and second coats and whether or not I add a third. I feel that every time I've added a third coat for this polish, it's just because I've wanted more glitter as opposed to really caring strongly about the base color. The glitters come out fairly easily in here. I did run this one through my nail polish shaker when I was doing my swatches just because the really larger hex glitters, they do tend to sink a little bit. So I really wanted to get those nice and dispersed so you can see them in the swatch. I did have just like a little bit of visible nail line with this shade. Not a lot, but enough to be noticeable. While this isn't a purposefully textured nail polish, it does dry down fairly textured due to all of those glitters. So you will want 1 to 2 layers of top coat to smooth everything out. For the live swatch, I just did one really thick layer of Seche Vive to smooth everything out. For personal, you're gonna want 1 to 2 layers of top coat depending on your thickness of your top coat and how you feel about, you know, texturediness. Because of all those glitters, this is gonna be a bit more difficult to remove if you scrub the polish off. Use the soak off method or peel off base coat. The next polish in this release is actually my favorite polish from the entire collection. Spoiler, It's called Donut Even. This is a pink glitter crelly that smells like donuts. So picture in your mind the Homer Simpson donut and then just make it in a nail polish, and that's what we got here. I'm undecided on if I feel the base on here is a jelly or a crelly. I feel like it has just a little bit more coverage than just a plain jelly with like no white in it. So I'm gonna call it a crelly, but it is on the more sheer side for sure. Even building this one up, you're gonna have a little bit of visible nail line with it. The base color on this polish, this is a very cool toned pink. I feel as though the pink is so cool toned that it has like a very slight lavender, like not underglow, what's that called? Undertone. It has a very cool undertone to it, but it's definitely for sure pink. And then there are also yellow, blue, and white bar glitters, which I know there's a lot of people who hate bar glitters. I am not one of those people. I love me a bar glitter. I still find it really weird that people think bar glitters look like hair. I totally get it for like the black bar glitters. I'll give you that. The black ones can look like hair. And sure, there are people with blue, yellow hair. Yes, that is also a thing, but I just don't see hair when it comes to colored bar glitters. So update, I just pulled up my old swatch of this polish, and then I was just looking at my notes I just wrote for the polish. It looks like there are bar glitters in here. They have changed color a little bit. For my swatch from 6 years ago, I could clearly see two different colors of blue bar glitters, a pink bar glitter, as well as a yellow and maybe an orange as well. And now currently I'm just seeing blue, yellow, and like an orange so pale that it's basically yellow. And I swore I saw white as well in here. So yeah, this one unfortunately has changed with time. Although it's obviously very mild because I didn't notice it until like I pulled up my swatch photo from 6 years ago and noticed it. Donut Even, fantastic formula by the way. This one has a really good sugary sweet fragrance. This is very much scented as the icing on the donut as opposed to the cakiness of a donut. I swatched this one out in 3 coats. I don't think I've ever worn this one in 2. This is another one that like I just want all of the glitters on the nail, so I wear this one in 3 coats. The bar glitters do dry down with a little bit of texture, so you will for sure want to smooth them out with some top coat. Again, 1 to 2 layers of top coat depending on your thickness of your top coat and how you feel about texture. Super easy removal if you soak this one off or use a peel off base coat. Don't scrub it off. And I'm sure somebody was wondering when the savory was going to kick in for these polishes. I opted to save those for last, largely because I swatched them last because the first time that I swatched them, they made me want to vomit.
Oh my God!
Usually when I'm swatching out nail polishes, I just like swatch, back to back to back to back to back. I don't generally have to wash my hands in between swatches. For these polishes, they smelled so badly that I washed my hands completely in between each swatch to make sure I got all of the fragrance off of them. So the next polish up is called Pizza Party. So I don't think the glitters in this one have changed at all. What I'm seeing here in the bottle and what I'm seeing in my old swatch photo, it looks pretty much the same. So for Pizza Party, this is a peachy nude kind of base. And then you have red and yellow hex glitters. You have white bar glitters, and then super, super tiny black hex glitters. And the fragrance on this one is very much like, it smells kind of like an Italian seasoning mix with like a dash of cheesies, like the funk of cheesiness. That's what's in this one. It smells disgusting.
This is disgusting. I like it though.
But I will say it does kind of look like pizza. Like I see where they're going with this one being pizza. I get it. It's very pizza-y looking. Similarly to the other polishes in this release, it is a little bit on the thinner side, but super easy to apply. I really appreciate that Sinful Colors had changed the brushes on these polishes. The brushes on them are really good. It made it very easy to apply them. This is another one that I would recommend building up in 3 coats. The bar glitters do have a tendency to kind of stick off the tip of your nail as bar glitters tend to, and you just tap it back on and it's fine. Even though I hate the way this one smells, even though I don't ever want this on my hand again, I look back so fondly at wearing this one just because it's just such a strong reaction because it stinks. But I really do love it. It's a fun concept, really. Use the soak off method or peel off base coat for the easiest removal experience. And last but certainly not least, we have Taco Tuesday. This is the funkiest, unkiest of the bunch. Color-wise, I would describe the base color in here as very much kind of like in the cheddar cheese orangey kind of family. It's a little bit more brown than cheddar cheese is, but it's an orangey kind of color. As far as the glitters go, there are large red hex glitters, small red hex glitters, metallic green glitter shards, tiny orange bar glitters, and off-white hexes. There is a really fun variety of glitters in this polish and I absolutely love it. Like this is just funness in the bottle. However, the fragrance on here, it smells meaty. Similarly to the Pizza Party, it also has a little bit of funkiness from a cheese-like smell, but the meat smell is what really sends this one over the edge as far as funkiness goes. There's also a dash of a chemicaliness fragrance in this as well that I can't pinpoint what it is exactly, but it adds to the overall unpleasantness of it all. Formula-wise, I would say formulation-wise, it's a really good polish formula-wise. Like, it's easy to get the glitters out. The larger hexes do kind of sink a little bit, so if you really want to get one of those out, you kind of have to either shake your bottle really well or hold it upside down for a little bit, but it applies really nicely. I opted to swatch this one out in 3 coats again because I wanted to make sure I got at all of the larger glitters on that last coat. I will say, if you really love the look of this polish, I'm pretty sure that Plus Life Lacquer has a taco glitter crelly that's kind of similar vibes to this one. It's just a really fun nail polish, even though the fragrance on it is just disgusting. This is another one that I don't think I've put this one on my nails again since I last swatched it out 6 years ago. This whole collection really is one of those collections that like I hold on to for the memories, and it's just a fun idea. So yeah, use the soak off method or peel off base coat for the shade. Don't scrub this one off. All right, final thoughts time. I love this collection. This entire collection is probably in my top 10 favorite collections of all time. And yes, even though I find a couple of the polishes absolutely disgusting and I don't want to ever put them on my nails again, yes, top 10 favorite, maybe even top 5. I don't know if I've ever made like a true top 10 favorite nail polish collections, but I feel like I like this one enough that probably would be in top 5. It's definitely top 10, probably top 5. Especially for like a drugstore mainstream brand, we don't really see polishes like these anymore, which really sucks. China Glaze and Sinful Colors, in my mind, have consistently put out really fun and weird collections. Truthfully, Sinful Colors was never really on my radar like that prior to this collection. I'm pretty sure these are the first Sinful Colors polishes that I've ever owned. But looking back at Sinful Colors releases, they've done a lot of really fun and weird collections. In truth, I kind of do wonder if the reason why they're not around anymore, other than their parent company going bankrupt, I kind of wonder if their polishes were too weird and that's why it didn't really resonate with enough people. I feel like the kind of customer who wants like a taco scented nail polish probably isn't the same kind of person who wants like, I don't know, like a mauve cream or like a red cream nail polish as like their go-to. I wonder if there's not enough weird people who are buying the polishes. China Glaze is the other mainstream brand that I would say was doing a lot of really fun and weird collections. And where are you, China Glaze? I'm honestly still hoping that China Glaze will drop a fall and Halloween collection, but we're in August right now. If they're gonna drop one, it's gonna be coming up pretty soon, but I'm not holding my breath this time. I already said that Donut Even is my favorite polish from this collection. It's just a really fun nail polish. On top of me just liking the concept of the nail polish existing, I also actively enjoy wearing that polish, whereas most of the polishes in this collection, I don't actively enjoy wearing. I just like knowing that I have them and that they exist because it's just like a really funny concept. As I mentioned at the start of this video, this collection is no longer available to purchase. Every so often I see someone selling them on like Mercari or eBay for like way too much for a Sinful Colors nail polish, in my personal opinion. When I originally purchased this collection from Walmart, I purchased all 6 polishes for $13.58. Sinful Colors was a fantastic brand if you were balling on a budget. Unfortunately, their parent company Revlon went bankrupt a few years ago, and so Sinful Colors hasn't released a new collection in several years. So if anyone has kind of polish ideas and dupes for something similar to these, drop them in the comment section for folks. So yeah, I would love to know what everyone thought of this collection. Were you in the nail polish space when this collection released? When this collection initially dropped, I remember how hard it was to find these. This was in the time period when Sinful Colors made their announcement that their new releases were only going to be available to purchase at Walmart stores. Prior to this, they were also available at like Rite Aid and some grocery stores, but for whatever reason, all the new collections were only available at Walmart. And I remember the Walmart listing going in and out of stock constantly. I'm currently trying to decide what other older releases that I want to do like swatch and reviews for. If anyone has like suggestions on things that you think I might have, let me know. So before we get into today's video, I do want to give a very special shout out to my channel members. Shenanigang Story Fans and names, of course, all on the screen right now. Channel members in the Shenanigang tier or higher, we do have a members exclusive live stream happening this Friday. I'll see channel members in the Shenanigang tier at 4 p.m. this Friday. As always, my channel memberships is completely completely optional. Just like the video, comment the video, share, subscribe, all the things, and seriously, we are good. So just thank you all for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a lovely week, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Also, because the shirt wasn't fully in frame, here is today's shirt of the day. This is one of my favorite bands, Harley Poe. I got a bunch of their shirts, and yeah. All right, bye!
When I get high, I ain't looking at the clock, still ballin' like Brian. Yeah, I'm headed to the Bucks, then I'm ballin' like yeah.